and his wife are on vacation this week. They are celebrating the upcoming arrival of their beautiful first baby and mourning the loss of their sweet, sweet non-parent freedom. This week, we're talking about gaming companies porting their games over to mobile, Vine versus Instagram, new tech this year, and the Ouya's chances at success. This is Ask the Buffalo. Let's get answering. Our very first question is from Techno Buffalo commenter Mick Kyle, who asks, do you think gaming companies will be willing to release their popular games on Apple's iOS now that it has added controller support? Games such as Super Mario, Pokemon, and Zelda would be huge successes and open up markets for games on the App Store upwards of $20. Mick Kyle, that is a really good question. And I think what it boils down to is Nintendo or any other developer, major console developer's willingness to let Apple, Android, Google take 30% of those sales. So everybody through Apple has to give 30%. Same thing with Android. I'm guessing the same thing with Amazon. So it's not really likely that we'll see a Nintendo, who generally speaking is really protective of those first party IPs like Mario, and bring them over to iOS, even with that controller support. I think the controller support for iOS 7 is really exciting for indie developers and people who make games that can be actually enhanced by a controller. And sometimes touch gaming is not exactly the way that you'd want to play, say, a side-scrolling platformer. I think generally speaking, I wouldn't hold your breath on those titles, those first-party titles from Nintendo, but there's always a chance that they could find themselves in dire straits or even take the route of Sega, who ended up licensing their IPs to Nintendo. So we may see something like that in the future. Twitter user @MiniTuff wants to know, what new technology, phones, tablets, laptops, etc. are you looking forward to most in the near future? Well, MiniTuff, I can't speak for John, but I know that I am very excited about the Mac Pro. So the new Mac Pro is so tiny, it's like carrying around a little thermos. And as somebody who edits video for Techno Buffalo every single day almost, it's one of those things that I would love to have to be able to travel with. Because if you can carry around what the equivalent of a desktop Mac computer is with 2 video cards, a crazy amount of processing power, I am down for that. Anytime I can make something more portable, fast, and easy to use, that's what I want in on. So I'm really curious to see, because the Mac Pro is assembled here in the US, how expensive it's going to be. It could be really, really pricey, but Apple could surprise us and make it really cheap. So gotta keep an eye out for the Mac Pro later this year. That's what I'm looking forward to. Twitter user @KirbyChew9 and many other viewers wanted the answer to this question. Who do you think will win the social network battle now, Vine or the new video-capable Instagram? Well, that question is great because obviously it's new, it's timely. Instagram now has video with filters and all this other great stuff. Well, some people really like Vine in that you can't add filters to anything. It has to look great right when you shoot it out of your phone. You don't have to rely on filters to make your video look better. So for maybe video purists, Vine is the way to go. I also like the fact that Vine can still embed in a browser, which you can't actually do with Instagram. That was a big surprise to me this week. But Instagram, really, they have the user base. Obviously, they're riding on the back of Facebook because they're owned by them. They have that huge user install base that obviously loves to use Instagram for pictures. So it's not a stretch to think that because Vine is a new service, Instagram definitely has the advantage here. And lastly, Twitter user @mobile_dom asks, do you think the Ouya will ever reach mainstream success? Maybe not this gen or next, but one down the road. Well, the Ouya is a really interesting concept, and I think idealistically, this is what everybody wants. An open console that developers can let their games get published on without having to go through a third-party publisher or meet demands of an investor and things like that. However, this generation of the Ouya is definitely a little bit lacking. So it's kind of behind in terms of processor. Obviously, they're running a Tegra 3 instead of the now current Tegra 4. So out of the box, it's a little bit outdated. That's not to say that they could catch up very easily in the future and expand their software to really take advantage of what the Ouya's idea can offer developers and consumers. So I really like the idea that everything needs to have a demo, and a lot of times in a family, you definitely want that demo experience. So you want to make sure that the game that you're about to buy, even if it's only $1 or $2, is going to be worth your time. So I think Ouya can absolutely expand on their services. I think if they can combine the console part of Ouya, which is what they have now, with something along the lines of an Apple TV or even a Roku, where they have different channels that you can access, like Revision 3 with Techno Buffalo and Ask the Buffalo on it, and Netflix, Hulu Plus, and other streaming services, I absolutely think Ouya would have a real winner on their hands if they could keep it at that $99 price point. But time will tell the story of the Ouya. Well, that's it for our questions, but right now we'd like to take a minute from answering them to thank our friends and sponsors at lynda.com. You can learn it at lynda.com, an online learning company with more than 77,000 video tutorials that teach software, creative, and business skills. Membership starts at $25 per month and provides unlimited 24/7 access to top quality video courses taught by expert instructors with real-world experience. Learn anytime, anywhere, and at your own pace. From bite-sized tutorials to comprehensive courses in web design, programming, design, 3D, and animation. With new courses added every week, the training library keeps pace with today's fast-changing technical and software skills. Save and prioritize courses in your queue for whenever you're ready to watch and track your progress in each. Learn on the go with their optimized mobile site or their free iPhone and iPad app for members. Try lynda.com free for 7 days by visiting lynda.com/technobuffalo. Thanks so much for watching this episode of Ask the Buffalo. I know I'm not John, so please give the show a thumbs up. We really appreciate it. Check us out at technobuffalo.com for all the latest and greatest tech news. And until next week, I'm Ashley Esqueda. See you next time.